NFL Week 14. Andy and Corbin going to be breaking down all the props from all of the Sunday games, and we have a 5% best bet to tell you all about it coming off of. It's so great winning by the hook, Corbin, and that's what we did on Thursday Night
It's
Football.
always great. It's one of those, it's great when it hits, and it's the most painful
it's
thing when it
oh,
happens to you.
we had David Montgomery over 12 and a half. He catches one pass and runs, and you're like, where'd they mark him down at? Where'd they mark him down at? He gives him 13 yards. So 24 and 12 primetime run. I still do not have any explanation why primetime games have been so good to us. But we're coming off that winner, and we're coming off a 5% winner last weekend. But let's get into these games here. I mean, it's feast or famine here on these games, Corey. They're either like super exciting or absolute dog
I
shit.
very much have that. I was writing my notes for the last couple of hours, and I was like, "Oh, this game I like two or three things, and nothing in this one, and then two and three again, and then nothing."
And
So
yeah,
we'll see how we
absolutely.
go.
All right, well, this one has props galore written all over it. Cincinnati, Buffalo. I'll let you go first. Where do you want to start?
Well, there's only one man we can start with when we talk to the Bills, and it's greedy Josh Allen. And
Here we go.
I think it's an extra greedy week. I think he scores two touchdowns this week, not just one. I think he's going to get two. Now, I have some theories behind this time. He's playing the Bengals, which I would say, like on paper, Bengals versus the Bills is probably one of the bigger games of the weekend, like name value. So gonna already have some eyes on him, and we know Allen loves the eyes on him. And then this Bengals defense is so bad that he can literally do what he wants. He could even the week he scored three, he could score three touchdowns again this week just to really have his like I am Josh Allen and I score touchdowns moment. I love that he scored one in each of the head to heads. It all sets up perfectly, I think, for Allen to have at least one, if not two touchdowns this week. So I really like that. On the Bengal side, it's Chase Brown. I think rushing is probably the better look. Three straight, 5 of 6. Bills are number one statistically against the pass and third versus the run. Their run defense is just so awful. I know the Bengals have had issues running the ball all year, but this total, even at 50, it says 50 and a half at some places on some other books. That total is way too low for a starting running back in this kind of situation. They're probably the two props that I like the most actually in this game.
Yeah, I just don't trust this Bills defense. I think this Burrow number could potentially be just a touch low at 254. If you want to search around at the time of recording this, it's we record this on Friday. 261 was his total last week, and I see 249 and a half on FanDuel. So if I'm looking at the weather, it says pretty good chance for snow, temperature around 30 degrees, and light winds. It might look worse on TV than it actually is for offenses. I know we had a lot of comments about weather last week, and here's the thing, guys. When we record on Friday, the weather is different by Sunday, just like it was in the Cleveland game. Like when we recorded Friday, it was like snowstorm, snow everywhere, rain, and then
Yep.
it wasn't. So
Tuned in and it was perfectly normal.
it was a little windy, but you're right. Like there was just no moisture in the air whatsoever. So I hesitate to give you guys some really solid takes. And remember, we record this on Friday, so the check the weather the day of if you're nervous about the weather.
Yeah.
Then just wait and play it on Sunday.
I
So.
will I will say it's interesting that Burrow's number has gone up considerably. I remember I discussed it coming back from the injury last week, and I think, am I right in saying it was in like the 230 range? So
Yeah,
statistically, you're getting I would say the Bills' pass defense is way better than the Ravens' pass defense, and suddenly the numbers jumped. Now I know it's obviously because he went over last week, they're more likely to bump the number, but I think that's quite interesting actually. So
Um, receiving yards, any receptions? I can't really get there. I think these numbers are
I
pretty
find it
hammered.
hard to trust anyone on either team. I liked like Josh Palmer, and I forgot who the Bills just signed recently. Was it oh, it was the guy from the Saints. I don't know if he ended up playing. I never played it. But his what was his name? Andy, help me out.
Who?
Wide receiver that the Bills got that the Saints dropped.
Brandon Cooks? Are you
Brandon
thinking of?
Cooks. I wanted Brandon Cooks over 10 and a half last week. I don't see a number listed. I don't know what he got to last week, but Brandon Cooks and Josh Palmer were the ones that I was interested in on the Bills side. So, and then you look at the Bengals, and they've just got so many options now.
Yeah.
It's just I can't pick. So
Yeah, so you have the Bills going out and getting Brandon Cooks, and then the Steelers counter by going out and getting Adam Thielen. Good Lord. Oh, good Lord.
Adam Thielen, Jesus.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of the Steelers, uh, the Steelers and the Ravens. I mean, important game. I don't know if it's going to be a good game. It could be pretty tough to watch, but there's a lot of props here. Where do you want to start on this one?
Quickly, I will say I just looked it up, and Brandon Cooks did have one reception for 13 yards, so did go
There you
over
go.
last week.
Cash it.
There's a prop for you. If it's 10.5 again, take that. This is one of those games where I have very little. I like Darnell Washington as an alt of 2+ receptions. It's minus 220. We've mentioned it before. Rogers throws to the tight ends. That's where he goes. Washington's had 2+, 3 straight and 6 of 8. Ravens have a bad pass defense. I don't like it at the 3.5. You could take the receiving. I like the 2+ just because I feel like he's been doing it longer. But if you don't want to parlay it, I think I would rather go with the receiving yards as opposed to the 2.5 receptions. We mention it every week with him. He's just such a big body that once he gets the catch, it's really hard to tackle him. So yeah, that's the only prop I really liked in this game.
Oh, last week someone made a business decision. He was running at him. They legit got out of the way. There was like no way, no
I can't
chance,
blame them. I
no
would get
chance.
out of the way.
Yeah. It's just not happening for DK Metcalf. I think we gotta just accept that this is over. Aaron Rodgers can't get him the ball. He's not. He's not playing well. He's playing like he's aging, and those are his words, not mine. He said, I am basically aging. I'm not the guy I used to be." And it's
That's not a good time
45.
for wide receiver one to say
No,
that.
no, especially in colder weather. I'm taking his under. It's such a low total, but he's easy to guard. Like he doesn't have that explosiveness. Aaron Rodgers ain't throwing the ball downfield these days.
Yeah.
It's just this is an offense that just does not have too much pop in
What's
it.
his
So,
receptions actually? I like when I watch the games, I don't feel like
well, if he catches, they're these short little like
yeah,
dink and it's
true.
classic Rodgers. It's you have an aging wide receiver and an aging quarterback. Like how is this supposed to go? So it's just yeah, there's no explosion. He's easy to guard. I will keep taking unders on DK Metcalf. Um, I really, really like Zay Flowers and I want to play him, but Lamar Jackson is so banged up, so
Yeah.
I can't do much with him. And speaking of Lamar Jackson, he broke my heart when he went over by the hook the other last week, and I think he just got to come back to his under rushing. He doesn't have a lot of rush attempts. Even when he does run, it's not classic Lamar. Like it's very slow and hobbled. So I know it's a big game. He's going to do whatever it takes to win. His rush attempt. I don't want to take his rush attempts because if there's kneel downs, those count and you get some cheapos. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm out on Lamar. What's his passing yards? I mean, even his passing yards, 220 and a half. I know he went over, but he went over against Cincinnati. Look at all the unders before that.
Yeah, I was gonna say 220 seems quite high
Seems a
for
lot.
Jackson at
Yeah.
the minute. Again, it's one
Uh,
of those you sit there and you're like, oh, the Steelers defense just isn't all that, and you're like, even injured, but like it means so much to them. They have to win, really. So
it leads me to listen, you guys don't need to watch the show for me to tell you that Derrick Henry is pretty good. He hasn't been great every week, but this is an absolute smash spot. This, I don't mean bet wise. I mean Derrick Henry should smash the Steelers.
yeah,
Defense. This is a rush defense that is absolutely dying. They're giving up 150 yards average on the ground the last 3 games. And Corbin, look at this. His last 2 games against Pittsburgh,
wow,
186 and 162. So Derrick Henry, he's kind of like DK Metcalf. Takes a while to get up to speed, but once he gets up to
yeah,
speed, he is a nightmare to tackle. And the Steelers defense doesn't look like they want anything to do with
yeah.
hard tackling. I know it's a divisional game. I know it's a big playoff game, but I just haven't seen it from the Steelers defense. So I will look at that. And so I watch Jalen Warren, like I have him on a fantasy team, so I like keep my eye on him.
Hmm.
Why is his receiving 11 and a half here?
I was just
Like
gonna say that looks
he
suspiciously low.
goes over every game against Baltimore. He hasn't done it in the last three games, but it still just seems
Oh,
awfully
we
low.
have to remember Rogers hasn't played. Is it the last two of those?
Yeah,
So
and Rogers was hurt, and Mason Rudolph was, and then Rogers was
Mason
clearly
Rudolph was playing. You
banged.
could have just stopped at that.
True.
Mason Rudolph is awful.
Yeah. So but then on the flip side, is Kenny Gainwell? Maybe
Yeah,
he's the receiving back. I guess I'm going that one of these running backs is probably going to go over. So
I
pick.
I would wait one more week, and I feel like that will give you a good read till the end of the year. Now that Rogers is back, if Gainwell goes over or gets the main receiving work for the fourth straight week, now that he's
Hmm.
back, and Warren doesn't, I feel like that will tell us a lot. So I feel like it
Okay.
might be a pass for this week and a comeback to it next week, kind of thing.
All right. We move on to Seattle and Atlanta. Kind of an odd game, but what are we doing with this one, Corbin?
I love Charbonnet over 34.5. I mentioned coming back to it last week when they dropped the number into like 29.5, which was ridiculous. Uh, Over 34.5, he's had four straight. He had 14 carries last game. The Falcons are awful versus the run. It all kind of suggests that the Seahawks are going to be up. I mean, I can't expect a Kirk Cousins led Falcons that have been so woeful this year to cause the Hawks many problems. So I quite like Charbonnet to go over 34.5. That's probably my favorite on their side of the ball. And I'm going to go against one of your favorite players that you love very much, Tyler Algier, under 21.5 rushing. I just, to me, it's one of those he just doesn't get it done enough. And in a spot, I think they're going to be down. I don't see it. 5 of 7, he's gone under this total. The Seahawks have the second best run defense. It doesn't feel. I don't understand how Algier would get enough opportunities to make it worthwhile. So, but then it is the Falcons. They could decide this is the week that they're down 3 scores and they just want to run with Algier. So
Well, look at this filter, man. This is with Kirk Cousins.
interesting.
It's not
It's
good.
What's my point?
And look who we went over against. New Orleans. So
Yeah, that says
um,
a lot.
I think that speaks to yeah that they don't respect the run when Kirk Cousins is your quarterback. So I'm with you on
Exactly.
Charbonnet. He broke our hearts, cost us a big bet here against Tennessee. And what's still so frustrating is it was a season low on rush attempts. Look at it
Yeah.
the week after 14. So, what is yeah, 9.5 is his rush attempts. Man, if he flirts with that 9 or 10, he's definitely going over this 35.5. So,
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
was gonna ask you about Shahid.
Interesting. I was looking at this and I got very
Where is
confused. I was
he?
like,
Like
you
where?
why would you trade for a guy to basically come in and be your wide receiver too and help out Jackson Smith and Jigba, and then just give him nothing?
I
Like
mean, it's almost like I almost want to take the under on 1.5 receptions or 18.5 receiving yard. They're not throwing it to him. You're right. They
it,
traded for him and like for what?
it's
Why?
one of those. It's like in the back of my head, I've got I was playing Shahid. You can see by the graph. I was playing Shahid over his longest or receiving most weeks, and now it's like 18.5 just for one. Like they're basically
Just for
saying he's going
total
to
for
get.
the game.
Yeah, they're basically telling you with the numbers that he's going to get one catch somewhere in the 12 to 16 yard region.
Yeah.
Like it just I can't understand it. So
Possibly looking at AJ Barner under his longest reception, 15.5. He hasn't done this in quite a while. So he's flirting with it. So it's not a super confident play. But you can get a pretty good price at DraftKings, BetMGM. BetMGM's got a -110 right now. So he's just not a long play threat.
what's Mooney's numbers this week? I remember like the other week they had him at like 3.5 or 4.5 receptions, and that was one of my favorite bets. He's still not
35.
he's
So
still not getting there we go. I'm -2. What does it say? -270. Play it. whatever it is, just play. Like he's just not doing it. Like I don't care what the price is. Put it with something.
So I have Drake London on a fantasy team, and I also have Darnell Mooney. And I think like sometimes with these props and like especially in fantasy football, you're like, oh, I have the handcuff, or oh, I have the next man up, and it's like I'm sorry, Darnell Mooney's not as good as Drake London. Like it's just
Yeah.
it's not. And like I also have a Monroe St. Brown. Now he played last night, but I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, yeah, you can go pick up some of these other guys or play their props. They're not that good. There's a reason
No.
why they're not starting. So yeah,
Exactly.
Darnell Mooney. I sadly I've had to watch him because I put him in place of Drake London, and the eye test is bad. Kirk Cousins is just. Listen, Kirk Cousins is one of my all-time heroes, Corbin. This man has bet on himself and made so much money on one-year contracts, and then he somehow gets the Falcons to pony up. But I just can't do it with Kirk Cousins. It's
That's
only
got to
two
be one
hundred.
of the worst contracts. Was paying him to then draft Penix.
No,
I
yeah,
just
they both stink. There's another one that's a little bit juicy, but under 1.5 passing touchdowns against this Seattle Seahawks defense.
yeah, we're basically talking about how bad the Falcons' offense sucks, and that is kind of going back to the Charbonnet. That's why I like his rushing because we're basically saying that the Falcons can't put up much offense here, which is going to
Can,
probably lead to Seahawks being up and Charbonnet running.
can you
So
put Charbonnet and Walker both? You almost could play them both to score.
yeah, of course you
I
could.
mean, it's kind of risky. It's kind of an unnecessary risk, but I just don't see Atlanta keeping up with the Seattle team. So,
Exactly, exactly.
all right, before we move on to the barn burner, that is the Titans and the Browns. 5% NFL best bet is up. Listen, we build bankrolls with props. That's what we do. That's what we specialize in. We don't play spreads. We don't play totals. We don't believe that that's long-term winning over years after years after years. Primetime games have been really good. 5% winner last week. So get this 5% best bet. It comes with all the plays on Sunday, including Sunday Night Football if we choose to have a play in that game. So you're going to get everything on Sunday. 5% best bet is up right now. If you're watching this before the UFC event, we also have a 5% UFC best bet that is up. So maybe 3-day pass works out great. You get props in everything. There's a golf tournament going on that we've been playing, NBA, NHL, everything, including
Yeah, it's
two
probably a
5%
good
best bets.
weekend package. You mix into that, we've got cricket and motorsport,
Truth.
F1 another week.
Formula
We're
One
going to have the soccer
Championship.
plays. Like we're going to have a
Yes.
lot of different sports this weekend.
Yeah,
So
3-day best is probably your best way to approach it. So close out a really good November. So looking to finish the year
love to
with
hear
a
it.
with a good sprint. So all right, Corbin, let's do it. Titans, Browns, give it to me.
Yeah,
Where
let's shoot
how can we
top.
make a bunch of money on the Browns and Titans? I laugh. I actually think this is a bettable game from a props perspective.
So do I. So
Oh,
there's
good.
two players that I'm looking at. We'll start off with Fannin over 35 and a half. We mentioned it earlier with the weather talk. I talked about Shador Sanders and his low passing total, and everyone in the comments let me know that it was because of the weather. And I tuned in, and there was no weather, and he flew over. So, uh, actually, he didn't fly over; he only went over by a
He
couple of
went
yards.
over.
But
It was a cash. It was fine.
a win's a win. So that's 2-0. But I'm not playing his passing this week. They've bumped it in. We'll get into his number in a minute, but they've bumped it up. So who's his main guy he's going to? And pretty consistently, it's Fannin Jr. Uh, you can get 35 and a half in some places. He's gone over this in 2 games, 6 of the last 7, and coming off a game with 43 and 40 with Sanders at quarterback. They seem to have the only kind of real good connection from what I watched. So he's a good safety blanket. I like it against this Titans defense, which is all kinds of awful against both attacks, really. So that's the first one, and then we both know where we're going for the second one, and that's Charge A Spears over his receiving. Uh, I got it again. Some books I just played it actually at 15 and a half. I don't mind it 16, 17, 18 and a half. It kind of all goes the same. He just keeps going over this number. 7 straight if you can get the 17 and a half. Um, the Titans run game is just so poor. And then you look at the Browns defense. and they're just good against both of it, which is I think is going to lead to checkdowns to Tajay Spears. The interesting thing is I've been playing the over 2.5 receptions, and I was saying to you before the show they've actually bumped his number to 3.5, juiced to the under, which kind of gives you the impression that they don't want to get burned on the over 2.5 receptions anymore, because even on an old piece the 3+ is like -200 or something. If he has 3 receptions, I think quite confidently that he gets at least 20 yards receiving. So yeah, I'm going to continue to play that one as well. I think they're the two props I have in this game.
With you 100%. Yeah, I gotta lay off the receptions at 3.5. I want to. It's plus money. It's
Yeah,
really good, but the receiving yards is the safer one in my
correct.
opinion. I think Quinshawn Judkins could have a really, really big game against this bad Tennessee
Ooh,
Titans defense. The Titans offense, as you said, is anemic. They're terrible right now. They just can't get anything going. And what is Cleveland going to want to do? Run, run, run the ball, keep the ball
very true.
away from Tennessee, and they're just not going to want Shador to throw a bunch. So Quinshawn Judkins, his rushing yards is 82.5. To me, what's telling is they have his rush attempts at 21.5.
Wow.
That
If
is
he
a
has
monster
20,
number. Yeah,
if he has 20 plus carries, I think he easily gets over this total.
I agree.
It's a
That's why.
huge total to start with,
Yeah, that's
actually.
why I want the rushing yards here. We had 91 last week. Um, his longest rush is only 15.5. He doesn't have that many explosive plays recently, so I guess I would stay away from that one. But it's just got to be the rushing yards for that one.
Agreed.
Sack props are not out. I think the square. It's
You're going to tell
it's
me you
not.
like Miles
It's
Garrett to get a
no.
sack.
I was going to say it's not often that the squarest play in the entire NFL is a sack prop, but it may be the one that everybody is on. Not the squarest, but I mean like the most public play is Miles Garrett sack props. Every video you watch, they'll be like, you know who I like, Miles Garrett sacks. It's like, oh wow,
Groundbreaking stuff there. Wonder
you're
how they came up with
you're
that.
the only guy on Instagram that brought that one up. Uh,
But it does
passing it,
probably hit as well. Like, again, Campbell
sure,
just
of course.
sack machine. So,
In honor of Jim, we'll get to the guy who we think is going to throw an interception. Isn't it interesting that Cam Ward has gone 4 straight with no interceptions? I find this interesting.
it is.
Um,
I don't know what I attribute it to because when I've watched him, he still hasn't been particularly good. So, is it just
he,
that what's his
I
pass attempts? If you can, just is he passing the ball less? Like, I'm trying to.
I mean, he's
Nope,
throwing the
he's
ball
not passing the ball.
38, 37 times. I mean, right there could be a play, 29.5 pass attempts. I mean, they're
That's
not
an
going to be
interesting
ahead.
look.
So, I mean, because they get in garbage time, and that's all he does. And here's the thing: I watched it last week because we had a big play on Tajay Spears. It's just check down, check down, check down, check down, check down, and
I guess that's taking the risk out of it.
yeah,
So,
yeah. So I thought his interceptions was really interesting. How he goes 6 games in a row, and then it was like, all right, stop throwing interception, throw the ball away, do whatever. So that one was interesting. And then we talked about Shador Sanders over last week. He just barely misses, goes under. I don't know what to do with him because I really think Judkins is going to end up just running the ball a million times.
exactly. That's what I was saying. So it was 145, I think I played it at last week. It's now, what was it, 160 basically?
Yeah,
And I'm
basically.
just like, it's not worth it when it's one of those, we talk about riding the prop, but when you have a chance to jump off it when it's 2-0 like that and they've bumped the number up, I think it's a good spot to jump off it.
Yeah.
So, especially when I think Judkins can run the ball, like you said. So,
Yeah. Jerry Judy, here's another guy I'm done with.
see, I'm interested about this one because he only bet again. It's Shador standards and some accuracy things, but he was close on a couple of long ones to him. Again, he did overthrow him a couple of times. It's one of those. The more that Sanders plays, now that he has 2 games under his belt, does he like improve that slightly and get that like kind of timing back on?
Hmm.
Because he definitely the total's low at 31.5. An
It's
extra
true.
reception on top of that, and he goes over both of those games he went under.
All right. Well, I probably won't play him. All right. Move on to the Dolphins and the Jets. Here's an interesting game. Um,
Do we need to do a
quietly,
Jim Malero impression? My team sucks. We suck at everything. Just take the second option over the receiving. We're awful.
um, quietly, the Dolphins are all of a sudden this one of the best running teams in the league. How did this happen? Look at Devon Achane's numbers
Yeah,
here.
you've nailed my favorite player in this game.
We'll go ahead and talk about it because I'll add a little bit to it afterwards. But talk about Achane.
Yeah, I mean the picture just talks for itself. Again, three straight, way over 100. Again, Tua's had his issues this year. Chain is the explosive runner. You look, the Jets are awful versus the run. I don't see a world in which the Jets are scores ahead of them, that they abandon the run. Again, looking at that, he has a two great back-to-back head-to-heads versus the Jets. It all just kind of sets up perfectly, I think, with the game script, where the Dolphins are currently and what they want to be and their vision that they're going. Again, you look, you can get, what is that, 79 and a half at BetMGM. Again, I take the 3 extra yards and he's gone over that, sorry, in 5 of the last 7. Like, he has so much speed that his longest carry could probably also be a good look. I don't know what that now. Again, look at
17 and
that.
a half. Yes, in.
Yeah.
In. I seriously, Corbin, how much if Devon Achane has a big game, is this going to be the one that we're sitting there going, "Damn it, we didn't make enough. We did not
I
make enough."
in my head, I've gone, what is him to score a touchdown over 17 and a half longest and over 80 yards rushing? I might have to quickly work that out whilst you
He
talk about
nukes
it.
the Jets. Look at this. He scored in 3 straight.
Everyone nukes the Jets.
Yeah, but
They're
that's the
the
point.
Jets.
That's the point. Rushing yards
Exactly.
over easily. Rush attempts. He went over in the last game. Longest rush. Can I interest you in 120 plus at 4-1? I'm thinking about laddering. I think it's a ladder
Absolutely.
play. Yeah, stay healthy.
Absolutely.
This may be the only play you'd even need to look
Okay.
at.
It won't let me put his longest carry with it, but just him to score a touchdown and over 80 rushing yards is 2 to 1. I love it.
Yes,
I love it.
yes, yes. Give me all of that.
And
Absolutely.
that's when I talk about that will probably be the only prop I need in this game. If like, why do I need anything else? Like again, the only other are you done with 8 chain before I move on to
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, the next one, the only other one I could consider was Tua not to throw an interception. Again, I mention it every single week. The Jets still have no interceptions on the year,
It's amazing.
and Tua could well possibly be the guy that finally gives them one. But again, if you're playing the street, do you really care? We talk if A Chain's running the ball that much and they're having that much success, then they don't want Tua throwing it and putting it in harm's way. Now, Tua isn't the smartest quarterback around, so he might just do it anyway. But that's when I talk about A Chain. You could just probably do 8 chain and get out basically with a hopefully a 1-2-0 in that game. So
I've seen this play floating around. It's a really good one. Under his pass attempts, it's 29 and a half. They're a running team. Look at these pass attempts: 23, 20, 21. So you could
I like that.
you could look at Tua on that one. But again, Corbin against the Jets, 3 straight games.
Yeah,
So what was the price? Yeah, it's only minus 135 at BetMGM. Yeah, absolutely. Tua to not
yeah.
throw an interception. So
I mean, the Jets defense is just running around like headless chickens, screaming, trying to work out what's going on.
yeah,
So
and I listen. I get it. The narrative is going to be, well, Tua in the cold. It's at the Jets. And it's like, yeah, that's why they're going to hand the ball off a million times. Like that's
eggs.
exactly
That's why
why.
when I talked about 8 chain, that's the vision that they're going. You can see they're turning into a running team.
Not
So
turning into. They are a running team. They're just
yes,
flat out
yes.
a running team. It's a power running team. It's wild. Uh, I'll go to a team that is not a power running team. The Saints are taking on the Buccaneers. I'll be honest. I have nothing in this game. Nothing interests me. I have no feel. Do you have anything?
I do. If you could flick onto the rushing yards. So I mentioned team rushing a couple of times normally. Andy, what do you reckon they have the Saints team rush at? So you look, I did the calculations. They have Hill at 11 and a half, the show
I
quarterback at 12 and a
I
half. and Neal at
If
39.
it realistically against this Bucks realistically should be 68 and a half.
That's where I had it. They have it at 84.5.
Yeah, that's
So
an
it's like
under.
you add Hill, you add Shaw, you add Neal, and you have 60, and you're like, oh, let's just tack on another 24 yards against one of the like we say it so many times, the Bucks are good versus the run and bad versus the pass. I had a client play on Neal over his rush yards last week, and it didn't look good for the most part. It was only really in like the second half that he started getting along. The first like quarter, I don't think he had anything. It all sets up perfectly, I think, for the. I would rather take the team total than the individual, just because, as I said, they've just tacked on a random 24 yards out of nowhere. Another play that I like.
So,
Do you want?
sorry, I just want to jump
Yeah,
in here,
no
Corbin. They're
problem.
Tampa Bay sixth best against rushing
Exactly.
yards, 29th against pass. We
Yeah,
talk about this with the Bucks all the time.
exactly. That's why I like the Bucks. I like these props against the Bucks, like because you're just going to throw the ball, and they're probably going to be down as well. So yeah, I love that play. Bucky Irving, uh, rushing. I really like that this week. But what I like more so is taking his ult of 60 plus as opposed to the 70.5. It's minus 170 for 60 plus, and you look at the chart and you go, oh, he's gone under 3 games. Well, that's why I'm dropping the ult, and then I suddenly the picture flips, and I have 4 straight games
Yeah,
where he's gone over. He came back. I think last week was his first game back. Had 17 carries for 61 yards. 3 weeks before, 3 weeks he played before that, 15, 25, 17 carries. If he's getting 15 plus carries, I think he easily gets to 60. Saints are middle of the pack versus the run and supposedly quite good against the pass. I think it all kind of sets up with the game script and everything for Irving to have a good game here and try and relieve some of the pressure and stuff on Baker. So they're the two props I'm looking at here.
potentially you could look at Tyler Shaw over 217 and a half. We mentioned he's probably going to be throwing a lot. Garbage time counts. He's gone over against Miami, Atlanta, and Carolina, but I'm not betting my hard-earned money on Tyler Shaw. My Colts and the Jaguars. What do you like in this one?
I have two props. I want your opinion mainly on the Colts receiving game. So I have nothing on the Jag side of the ball. I think both teams are going to pass here, but I can't pick a guy on the Jags that I trust. I don't trust any of them. So I'm looking at the Colts side, and I'll start with my least favorite one of the two. It's just Tyler Warren over 53.5 and all the alts of 30, 40 plus. Um, you look, he's gone under in 3 of the last 4, but then you look at the defenses he's played, and this definitely feels like a get back on track kind of spot. Texans and Chiefs, we know how good their pass defense are. They're two of the teams that you went under against, so I like him to come back, particularly the 40 plus. Oh, I really like that. And then it's Alec Pierce, I think it
Yeah,
is,
Alec Pierce.
over 53.5. 5 of the last 6, he's gone over this. Again, if I'm expecting Jones to be throwing the ball, those two options seem to be the most consistent on the Colts offense. I think this number on Pierce is way too low. I'm surprised this isn't nearer the 60 range already. So
Uh, oh, good. We do have a number on Daniel Jones. Where's his rush attempts? Oh, wow. They've dropped it to 2.5. Um, unfortunately, can't play it because any kneel downs count, but the man is playing on a broken leg. He can't move, Corbin. It's tough to watch, and it's really, really frustrating because, like, over here in the States, the narrative is, well, the Colts are falling apart late. You know, we knew it wasn't sustainable. Meanwhile, our best, we traded for Sauce Gardner. He hurts his calf, so he's out. And our quarterback is literally playing on a broken leg. But nobody puts that out there as context. It's like, well, you know, the Colts, you're falling apart. It's like, our
what gets
quarterback
headlined?
literally has a broken fucking leg. And my favorite quote that came out was they're like, oh, so Daniel Jones has a broken leg, and they're like, no, it's just fractured. Like, yes, broken.
Yes. Good. Oh God,
So
it's just
it's,
everyone trying to play doctors.
like, yeah, it's okay to give context to why a team is not playing good, i.e., the quarterback is hurt. So
Doesn't get clicks though.
I gotta be honest, I'm not taking an over on 5.5. He cannot break the pocket. It's really, really tough. I would look at Jacksonville's sack props in this one. He just can't move laterally. It's kind of tough to watch. You're right about you're 100% right about
Yes.
Alec Pierce. Yeah, Pierce. He's got the really good connection. If I'm taking receiving props, it would be with him. And as much as a nutcase as Brian Thomas Jr. is, and as bad as he's been, our secondary without Sauce Gardner's really, really banged up and not that
Yeah.
good. I don't know if I can take myself to bet on him, but
That- That's
we're
exactly what I
vulnerable.
said to myself. I was like,
We're vulnerable.
I love the
Yeah,
Jags passing in a way, but I look at the names and I'm like Jacoby Myers, no, like Brian Thomas, no, like
it's
Strange, no.
tough.
And I can't bring myself to do it. So
Okay. All right, we move on to Washington and Minnesota. Okay, now I'm going to do my my Jim impression.
okay.
JJ McCarthy, you just set it and forget it to throw an interception. Corbin, you can take two interceptions at plus money. I mean, look at the amount of intercept. This guy's throwing more passes to the other team than he is to. It's a nightmare situation for them. I mean, this guy has thrown 2, 4, 6, 10 interception. He's only played in 6 games. I mean, that's like a couple of seasons for some of these guys. So it's JJ McCarthy. I don't care if it's minus 205. He will throw the ball to the wrong team. That is the only play that I will need in this one. We'll talk about some others, but what do you think?
If you go to the rushing props, I kind of understand the narrative, but I don't understand why this number is so low on a Krosky Merit.
You can
I
just call him Bill. Everyone just calls him Bill.
Okay, well, Bill,
Bill.
I can actually get at 13 and a half rushing yards. And I know he's having a fall from grace, but come on, he's gone over this total every single week. Even last week, 4 carries, and he still got to 20. They're both bad versus the run. The Vikings are good versus the pass, which leads me to think the Commanders are going to run the ball. Uh, McCarthy's going to turn over the ball, as we mentioned. I don't understand how this number is so low. Enlighten me, please. Tell me I'm missing something here.
It's just the lack of touches. But I'm with you. You can't argue these numbers. It's just really, really low. Yeah,
Even if he
it's.
only has 4 carries again, Andy, I would expect him to get over this total.
I know. It is. It's
It's one of
entirely
those
too
where I
low.
think the correction has gone way too far.
Yeah. I will also take a look at Jaden Daniels under his rushing yards. This is kind of like the Jackson Dart play when I told everyone to take Jackson Dart under his rushing and Jackson Dart takes off and gets blasted out of bounds and you're like, oh God, he didn't learn anything. But Jaden Daniels, I think him and the coaching staff understand the assignment. Don't get hurt. Throw the ball away. There's no reason to take off and run. So I would, I would, I would just take his under on the rushing. So other than that, um, I want an under on Justin Jefferson. JJ McCarthy sucks, Corbin. He's terrible. Look
He
at these. Look at
does.
these. I feel bad for Justin Jefferson. Look at these
And
numbers.
and also the thing is, I think Jefferson, and I can't blame it. It just feels like he's checked out now. What's the point? Why put myself in harm's way? Run all these routes just for him to miss every pass that comes to me. Like it's
It's
got to
like,
be so unmotivating to be wide open and just have him throw it out of bounds instead of anywhere even close to him.
here, let me
Like
let me put on the filter with with JJ McCarthy. Let's get the cleanest
let's get the
filter here and see what it looks like with JJ McCarthy. All right, yes, I want under 5.5 receptions. Yeah, I want under 63.5 yards receiving on Justin Jefferson. I feel bad for him, man. I I feel bad for him because he's a good soldier, man. He's a good teammate. He does try,
yeah.
but it's just
The
yeah,
future does not look pretty. put it
No,
lightly.
and um, I don't know. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I don't. When you have a season like Sam Darnold had, and he has the connection with Justin Jefferson, and he
Oh,
has the connection with the coach, I can't believe they let him walk. I really still can't believe they let him walk.
yeah,
Whatever.
it makes you wonder what they saw in McCarthy because at the minute
What
I
they
don't.
saw is they drafted him, and they wanted to make
That's
themselves
true.
feel better. They wanted to prove a point, and it was an ego boost. That's what it was. We know what we're
Well, it
doing.
didn't
We
work out
drafted
that
this
way.
guy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very, very powerful, smart, rich men. There's there's three things in the world that can wreck them: sports, egos, and women. All right, we move on. we move
Mic drop. Boom.
we move on to Denver and Las Vegas. Holy cow! What do we do with this
I have one
dumpster
prop,
fire?
and it's another one. I think the number's just too high. If you could pull up R.J. Harvey's rushing yards,
Rushing.
please.
Okay,
Yes, and I sit here. You might want to take off the with J.J. McCarthy.
I'll take off the.
And I'm like, 51 and a half. Now, I know he's the starting running back, but where have they pulled this number from? He's only over this number twice. And the one of the ones he went over was with 58 on 14 carries. And the other, he had a 50-yard longest, and he still added on only like a few yards on top of that. 35 yards last week against the Commanders, who are awful versus the run. 30 the week before. Raiders are like middle of the pack versus both the pass and the run. I'm just like, I don't know where they've got this number from. It baffles me.
They got this number from the fact they're playing the Raiders. I mean, this is all opponent based. I know they're middle of the road ranking for defense, but they give up 110 yards rushing per game.
It still
It's
doesn't. It doesn't fill me with confidence on looking at those kind of charts and just seeing what he's done though.
care to make things interesting, Corbin? Do a little head-to-head bet with me. I'll take
We can
RJ
we,
Harvey over.
we can go head to head. We
All
went head
right,
to head last week, but I don't remember what prop and what happened. I just remember us saying it,
we're the
which is
worst.
probably not
We're
good.
the worst head-to-head betters ever.
Goes
I
head
don't
to head
remember what it
and
was.
goes head to head and never remembers what the bet was or who actually won.
All right,
I might have to go back and watch that show and find it.
that's your assignment in the comment section. You agree with
Yeah,
RJ
someone.
Harvey over or under? I got the over. Corbin's got the under. This is going to be a really, really popular one. Everybody is now finally realizing that Ashton Genty can catch and that the Raiders are using him. His receiving yards is 23 and a half. His receptions are all the way up to 4.5.
Wow.
My only worry, Corbin, is that everybody's on it. Literally, that is my only worry, that this seems to be a really, really popular play this week.
Yeah.
The line is fair. Everything scares me about it. Maybe I'm sitting here left, looking like a fool. But if I'm taking anything with Genty, it's probably receiving yards. But
Interesting.
I don't know. Yeah, I thought that one was interesting. And then you want to do the the gym thing? Just Geno Smith throw an
Just,
interception.
he,
Just
if he's
rinse and
throwing the
repeat.
ball, he's just gonna leave it up
Said it
there.
every week. He threw an interception against Denver earlier this season. So yeah, it's Geno Smith interception. So anything
Yeah.
else you like in this one?
No.
All right, we move on to. Ooh, this is a great game. Your Packers and the Chicago Bears. What do you? Coming to you first. What do you think?
I actually really struggle for props in this game.
Oh,
Like
really?
I'm really struggling. All I have is Jacobs anytime touchdown. He hasn't had one in the
Oh,
last two games. Prior to that, he went 8 of 9. He had quite a good game last week. 17 carries, 83 yards, which was a promising sign. Bears are fifth worst versus the run, kind of middle of the pack against the pass. And then I gotta say, the Packers just own the Bears, like we just do. Like the Bears are awful. So add the Packers money line and go Jacobs anytime touchdown. Those two together. That's the only thing I can get behind.
oh, I like a lot in this game.
Go for it. Fire away.
Well, You keep talking me off of Christian Watson, and he keeps going over his total. He's good, man. He's a really
He
good.
is good, but it's hard when there's like every guy is coming back from injury.
He just
Like
keeps going over. Just keep playing him.
it's one of
I,
those. It's one of those now though that I've sat out this long that I might as well just carry on sitting out because if I jump on it now, it's gonna lose.
You said it. If you've missed the streak, just stay out. Don't try and jump in late. I've been in on the Christian Watson uh, catches, and he's been going over every week. And I, for what it's worth, I know it said that he I know it said he's gone under his receiving yards, but these numbers were like 40 and a half and
Yeah,
38 and a
they
half. So he
again.
was
That's what I talk about. I can't jump on it now when they've bumped the total as
54
well.
and a half.
So,
Yeah.
there was one other player I wanted to look at whilst you're on the
Sure.
receiving yards. Could you load up DeAndre Swift? I completely forgot. I've been playing
Ooh, now
Swift.
you're talking my
I've
language.
been playing Swift receptions and receiving for most of the season. Oh, actually, he's gone under his reception.
Those are
Ooh,
his receptions, but his yards, they put the line so low. We played him. We've been playing him
interesting.
because he catches one for 13 yards. Like,
Yeah,
you play his yards.
I like that. I like that.
I'm going to his rush attempts. We talk about the Dolphins being a running game. The Bears have really done a nice job. I think this coaching staff has done really, really well. I know the narrative is the Bears aren't that good. They haven't beaten very many good teams, but boy, they put an ass whooping on Philly. And it wasn't just that they beat Philly, it was that they ran the ball down their throats. And that is how you protect Caleb Williams. And they have turned this offensive line, which was a liability, into a strength with the running game. Kyle Monangai and DeAndre Swift will run the ball a ton against your Packers. I like his rush attempts. 12 and
Yeah,
a half at plus money. Your defense is just spotty. They're really good, and then they're not
they're
so good.
they're
It's just
they're slowing down for sure. Against the pass, I would say we're still good, but I've said it the last couple of weeks. The run defense kind of seems to be slipping back and back and
yeah.
back. So,
What I like about the coach Ben Johnson of the Bears is he loves his schemes, he loves his game plan, and I love that he just sticks to it. They are going to run. I mean, the Packers would have to be up 3 scores for him to get away from it. He's just going to continue to run the ball. So, rush attempts, I absolutely love. And I think it says a lot. Kyle Monangai's rush attempts is 11 and a half. They're expecting these guys to get
wow,
23, 24,
that's a lot
25.
of carries.
Yeah, but they're going over. I mean,
They are.
look at it.
Plus,
So,
as much as I mentioned that I like the Packers to win and how much we own the Bears, we don't pull away from teams. We're not normally 2, 3, 4 scores ahead.
yeah.
So I don't see a world in which the Bears abandon the run completely. So
Yeah, that's all. What do you can you do anything with Jordan Love at this point? You're not a fan.
mm, no, I just like Jordan Love, sadly.
Okay. He does this. Like, look at his touchdowns. When everyone's like, "Oh, four touchdown passes," and they just conveniently forget that 3 out of the previous 4 games he didn't throw any.
Egg,
They
exactly.
just conveniently leave that out.
He's a weird. I don't understand it. I can't wrap my head around how he can have such moments of brilliance and then just look completely ordinary at other points, or just some of the
Yeah.
needless interceptions that I've seen him throw this year, or just bad. Like I know he's still relatively young, but I just have no faith in him right now. So
We move on to the Rams and the Cardinals, and there's been I love a good jinx. Like when everybody is like, oh, so and so, do this, like, like, oh, this guy's never struck out against lefties in the fourth inning, and he'll immediately strike out against the lefty in the fourth inning. The Matthew Stafford hasn't thrown an interception in so many, but he's thrown this many touchdown passes and not interceptions, and then he just promptly throws 2 against the Panthers of all team.
yeah,
Was quite a riot. Guess what? I'm coming right back to him to throw 3 touchdown passes against the Cardinals. So, plus money, think it's a really good price on this one. Think they
my
get back to it. I think they're pushing him for MVP. Not think they are pushing him for MVP. This is a showcase game for him.
Yeah, again, I've mentioned it every week. Stafford 2+ passing touchdowns is a great parlay piece that I think it's around -250 this week. So I really like that I think it's only twice that he's gone. He's only had
Yeah,
one
week one
this
against
season.
Houston was one of them, one of the better
Exactly.
defenses.
So yeah,
So,
2+ is a great parlay piece to go with any of the others I've mentioned.
anything else you like?
No, actually, that was my only play. I mean, we can talk Michael Wilson and Harrison Jr. if you want.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Wilson was he was
Non-existent,
yeah, sadly.
and it broke my heart. I took a alt of him to
I
have
know.
3+ receptions and 40
Oh,
yards, and he had 4 yards short.
oh
And
man.
now it is time to say goodbye to Wilson and pretend that I never saw him.
Oh,
Because
get me
because
teary
otherwise
eyed.
I'm gonna tempt myself back onto it again because I'm gonna remember the good times.
It's all right, Michael. We'll always have those 2 weeks. All
Those
right,
2 weeks.
those
That's gonna
two
be one of
weeks.
the oddest graphs when it comes to the end of the year, and it's like 2 games well in the 100, and then every other game is like 30, 40, 10, 12.
Yeah, and add to that that Jacoby Brissett now holds the NFL record for most completions in an NFL game in league history. I mean, this Cardinals team really is truly something special. All right, last game. We're going to break down. What a great game. Texans and the Chiefs. Again, 5% best bet is up. Partner up with us Sunday. Every single prop that we have in the NFL will be part of this, but get a 3-day pass if you're watching this before the UFC event. We got a 5% UFC. I think we have like 3 other plays attached to that UFC. So a lot of plays in a lot of different sports. We're going to have cricket. We're going to have golf. We're going to have our usual NBA and NHL props that are up. And props is what we specialize in. That's how we build bankrolls. The lines are way softer. There's more options than just spreads and totals. So that's what we do. That's how we've built our bankrolls. So Houston and Kansas City, interesting game. I like a couple unders in this game. What about you?
I like two Mahomes related props.
Okay.
The first one I like is for him to throw an interception.
Ooh.
4 of the last 5, he's thrown one. Texans have the most interceptions on the year. Texans defense is very good. Like it all just kind of sets up Mahomes. Mahomes is another one. He's just making bad decisions or terrible passes, or somebody's deflecting a pass in the air. I really like that this week. And then Mahomes rushing over 23.5. All these, like, if we weren't already in must win,
Ooh.
we're definitely in must win now. Uh, Seems like a low total. He's gone over it in 6 of the last 8. Again, if he's having issues throwing the ball, if the defense, Texans defense is playing good, I could easily see him taking off for 2, 3, 4 runs, just trying to make something happen. I don't know if they have a longest rush for him, but he's probably been clearing that.
12 and a half.
So again, likewise, kind of goes hand in hand. I think he's going to have to run the ball at least a couple of times to make something happen in these kind of spots. So that's all I have really in this game.
I am thoroughly underwhelmed by one Woody Marks. I don't think he's that good, and I think this is a pretty tough matchup for him. He's getting the attempts. That's how I would look over 13 and a half. What a great correlated parlay this would be, a same game parlay over his attempts and under his rushing yards. I think this is a Chiefs team that is going to make CJ Stroud beat him. So when you look
I
at
agree.
the rushing yards, they're ninth in rushing yards allowed. And when I go back to the rushing yards props, I mean, Nick Chubb, he's not going anywhere, Corbin. He's gobbling up these
Ignorant.
valuable rush attempts that keep taking away opportunities for Woody Marks. 6.5 is his total. Rushing yards is 21 and a half. I just don't. I wanted to like Woody Marks. I was like, oh, he's going to take this Houston Texans running back job, and it's just not very. He's just not been very good. So give
Well,
me the under.
I I just looked. Woody Marks to go under his rushing and over his rushing attempts is 4-1. So
Don't you threaten me with a good time. Yeah, I really, I like that one. I like that one. Um, Pacheco.
I can't work out this running back situation for the Chiefs.
Well, that's the thing. Neither can they. I kind of like his under receiving yards. Like when he catches one, it's just random. It's just like a completely
Yeah,
broken play. So
it's an
I know he went
accident.
up.
They don't mean to throw it to Pacheco. It just
That's what
kind
I
of
mean.
happened.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You're not like, oh, let's run that killer pass play to Pacheco. in a big in a big spot. Like no. So I like his under, but again the line is too low. I probably can't get there to play
Yeah.
it. So and then Juju Smith-Schuster has been non-existent. Have you noticed this?
Yeah, I'm
The-
glad we abandoned that a few
Yeah,
weeks ago.
yeah. We he was doing really good, and all of a sudden it's like, nope, we're not throwing to Juju anymore.
Yeah.
So, any other props you like in this game?
Nope.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. That's going to do it for us. Appreciate you guys. Comment section. You got Andy and Corbin going head to head on RJ Harvey of all people. I like his
Yeah.
over rushing. Corbin's in on his under rushing. So hopefully we have a good week again. Partner up with us. Grab that 5% best bet in NFL 3-day pass if you want to partner up with UFC and all of our plays for this weekend. It's going to be a huge, huge weekend of plays. Thanks very much for watching. I really appreciate a like if you enjoyed everything. Leave us a comment. Tell us if you agree, disagree with anything you've heard in the video. Always love hearing your feedback. Sometimes.
Most of the
All
time.
right. Most of the time. All right. Good luck on your bets, guys. See you next week. Take care.
Good luck.